and made a lot of money there, lost a lot of money there. Everything was going up and down, like 10x up, 20x down, 20x up, 10x down, right? So
This dude has been doing crazy stuff in his life.
I think at the end of the day, all of life constitutes and turns into a game.
Welcome, dear listeners. Another episode of the Wisdomise Traders, where we gather full-time traders all over the world. Now in Koh Phangan Island in Thailand. Here I am with me today, Henry. He's a full-time trader, many cycles behind his back. He has some incredible stories to tell. He's a personal friend as well. And boy, this dude has been doing crazy stuff in his life. That's for sure. So yeah, Henry, can you give us a little bit of introduction about yourself?
Sure. First of all, hey everyone, I'm Max. Good to be here and to talk about the whole journey, the crypto life, everything that has to constitute with it. So maybe a background. This is currently, I would say, my second and a half cycle. First cycle was around 2020, where everything started to move up in terms of Bitcoin and adoption, and everyone started to understand blockchain, what to do and how to get inside. Maybe a little review. I got into crypto around 2020. It was crazy times, like Bitcoin was around $3,000. This was after the COVID crash. That's when I first started to look around what Bitcoin is and what does it constitute about. I didn't get until around November of 2020, and that's where everything really started popping for me. I got into a coin called Sand because at the time, I checked out like a gaming protocol, and it was like Sand, and I used to be a very avid gamer. So it was the first coin that I actually got into. It was around like $0.013, and it ended up running to like $8 in the cycle of the bull run. And I obviously, you never sell the top, right? You always sell pretty much the middle or even below. So I got out around like $3, but that was like 100x or like 1,000x almost at that point. And I started with very little money. I had just like saved up my last $2,000. I got into crypto. I was like, fuck it, all in. I started praying to God, like, what to do, how to get in there. And funny story would be how I actually got into crypto, where I literally sat on my knees at one point. I asked God, like, hey man, like, can you give me a sign? And then he showed me crypto right in front of my face. It was crazy, man.
So you literally prayed to God with having a desperate mind, having no money, having nothing, with your $2,000 behind your back. And what did were the prayers answered then? Yeah. So the prayers were answered, and you got into crypto and bought Sand, rode it all the way up, and now then what happened next?
Oh damn! So after that was actually prior to that, I also got into Solana very early. It was like around $20. I wrote it up all the way to like $200. At the time, NFTs were popping, right? So it was all about NFTs. That was the bull run of 2021, and made a lot of money there. Lost a lot of money there. Everything was going up and down, like 10x up, 20x down, 20x up, 10x down, right? So it was really a crazy time. It was the first time in my life where I was like so consumed, not sleeping, all about what is blockchain, what is Solana, what is Bitcoin, what is ETH. And it kind of took over my life, to be honest, and coming a bit from the like a narcotic background, it was almost like doing heroin, man. I don't know, like it was like doing like trading, and now we call it a bit like gambling at this point, but it was crazy, and at the time I was like so lost in my life, and I literally, my prayers were heard, as to say. And then from then on, like everything kind of started to change in my life. I started having closer relationships, I started having better people around me, and I was able to also like help a lot of people get into the sector itself. And it was really a crazy ride, man. It was a crazy ride. You know.
So you can easily say that crypto and praying to God, first of all, praying to God and crypto have changed your life, coming from an absolute bottom to having a amazing relationship, to having better friends, traveling the world, and living this extraordinary lifestyle where you don't count money, and $1,000 seems like peanuts, because yeah, that's a game, you're saying. Tell us about a bit more about it.
I think at the end of the day, all of life all of life constitutes turns into a game. And if you know how to play the game, then you know how to win, you know how to climb. Obviously, you're gonna take some losses, you're gonna take some hits, which is very normal. But for me, getting into crypto was like I come from a background of World of Warcraft, and that was like a very big game I used to play, and I always used to aim to be like number one. Like how do I get the most damage, or how can I beat the most amount of people? And so crypto for me was similar to that. Trading is similar to that. It's like, it's always going to be a zero sum game. One person's going to make some money, one person's going to lose some money. So better be on the side that makes the money, right? Better learn the technicals, the fundamentals, everything that you need to in order to understand how to play the game, quote unquote. And from then on, it was really like, yeah, like I said, like my life changed. Everything got to a turning point where it was positive, and I was becoming better and better at the game. I was climbing the leaderboards, as to say.
Yeah.
And that's yeah. It was insane.
Okay, so I remember you were saying that majority of your profits back then. So you obviously became a publicly known person as well. Back then, the trenches were also the same as they are now. So Twitter as a main sort of source, and then the Telegram group. So this was very much the same. But for NFTs, I remember that a lot of the alpha was in Discord. Can you agree with this? And tell us about how you were involved with NFTs, and do you think they're actually coming back this cycle the way they were? I mean, I mean, everyone remembers it was a craziness. You minted something for 0.23 ETH, and then you sold it for 30 ETH, or like it's just like insane numbers. Like people flipping NFTs like on a I don't even know what to compare it with. Is this no other asset class like this?
Yeah, so I guess we go back into like how NFT started. It was a lot of Discord, so you were in like specific Discord groups, and you were all like, you were all trying to get whitelist for a specific NFT mint, and this NFT mint was so hyped. So you could flip. I remember flipping one NFT for like 0.25 Solana, to which was at the time, I don't know, like 30 $40 or something, to like 6K in the same, like after the mint, which they were called solsteads at the time. They were like they were so overhyped NFTs at the time, but because there was so much money circulating in the system, everyone was just buying up NFTs like crazy. I remember getting into SMBs where you had to send funds to the developers of the actual NFT, and then pray that they send you the NFT to you. They didn't have marketplaces or protocols. You were selling things very OTC like.
Yeah.
And at that time, yeah, dude, you were flipping $100 to like $10,000 in like 2-3 days. Really, it was crazy comparing to the like meme coin degeneracy of 2024. I would say 2025, a lot of things are saturated, overhyped, overvalued. So it's really hard, and a lot of people now, it's all about insiders and stuff like that. At the time, it was all people coming together, putting all their money like in, and then hoping that the NFT is going to continue and rise, and then selling off. You had an NFT mint called Boryuko Dragons, which minted for like, if I remember at the time, it was either 1.3 Solana or 3.3 Solana, and they ran up to like 400 Solana each. And at the time, Solana was like $200, right? So like, dude, you're banging a shitload of money, $80,000 on one freaking picture. It's crazy, and a lot of mints were going like that. And so, does it come back? Probably not. It probably never comes back. And will it be stay in meme coin world, I think so, because there's a lot more liquidity and it's easier for memes to siphon in money and to siphon out money than NFTs, because they're very illiquid. You're gonna need in meme coins you can have 1 million people getting into one meme coin, whereas in NFTs you only have a supply of like 10,000 NFTs, so only 10,000 people in total can actually own these NFTs. So I think it was a bubble that burst a long time ago. I don't think it will ever come back as it was.
Yeah.
If it does come back, it's only going to be the blue chips that do really well. So CryptoPunks, maybe Bored Apes, but a lot of controversy around that. Pudgy Penguins.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But even now, I mean, this cycle also tries to replicate some of this success from earlier runs, NFTs, Azukis, complete. I mean, it was super hyped until they came just recently. They launched the token and it tanked horribly, -75%. And Pengo is the only one that's basically hyped still, but it's also down a lot. Yeah, so currently, I don't see that the NFTs are coming back the way they were. I believe that NFTs are more or less now having another product market fit. So before it was like gambling, like now meme coins, if there is another idiot who's gonna buy it from me, but now I think the next cycle or cycles they will have a bet like a unique value proposition. So you hold the key, and this is access to something like a group or something. Or I believe that this is going this way, but like technologically, NFTs also have some other advantages where you can track logistics or do something like with actual like useful for them. But there are a lot of uh, similarities to meme coin season that we're having now and before NFT season. Obviously, the NFT seasons, because of the craziness and how new it was back then. Everyone was so
Change of life.
yeah.
It was like a whole new technology where it wasn't really. It was just replicated of Web 2. But yeah, continue.
Yeah. But now we're seeing that meme coins are basically doing exactly the same. So we have millions of meme coins, just as we had NFTs like launching every single day, new mint, oh bam bam bam, so much hype around it, and ultimately there were so many of them that there was attention, lack of attention to all of them, right? And I'm seeing that all these meme coins, even the most hyped meme coins, are just 10x from their all-time highs. No one is really wanting them to buy. It's still an art in itself, art and fun. And I don't know where it's going, but to me, it's either over or just a few few best projects are gonna survive. So what's your take on this?
I think comparing to the NFT bubble, it's very different because the NFT bubble was very illiquid, whereas meme coins are very liquid. You can buy and you can sell in the same second. And NFTs you couldn't do that really. You need it to buy, you need it to wait. It goes up, it goes down, and then you have to list it and you hope someone else buys it, like you were saying. But because meme coins are so liquid, I think they're gonna be always around. I think the issue now is that there are a lot of snipers, there's a lot of insiders, and there's a lot of cabals, quote unquote. So they get to decide which coin's gonna pump and which coin's not gonna pump. And there's this saying, it's like, don't become a community member. We're not in this space to become community members. We're in the space to make money.
Yeah.
And this is what kind of changed everything. That meme coins, although I do think they're a bubble, and I think the bubble already bursted. Like you're saying, everything is down 80% of where it was. Pepe or Whiff went up to $5 billion valuation a few days ago. It was at 600 million.
Yeah.
You're down a boatload of money if you're holding, or if you bought it like $3, $4, and now you're at 60 cents.
Yeah.
So there's I don't think there are blue chips anymore, and I don't think you should become a community member for specific coins. I think you trade them, you flip them, you see where the volume is, and then you move on. And I think it's gonna stay like this. Although I do think meme coins are gonna be around much longer than NFTs. I just think that because there's so much oversaturation, that the amount that they can pump comparing to 2024 is gonna be very, very differently in 2025. Um, this is like my opinion, and I think I think it's over, man. I think crypto is like, I think it's changed completely to how it was before, and to like, in the 2017 cycle or the 2021 cycle. There's just a lot more people now with a lot more money that get to choose which coins to pump, and then there are 98% of people that are losing. You think you see all these P&L screenshots on Twitter. It's really a very select few people that are actually making money in the space.
Yeah.
And what do you think about this like idea of like very little people make money now these days? Whereas in 2021 or 2017, everyone was like bag holding, committing to the project. It was all, everyone was like focused on one thing, and that's why that one thing was doing really well. So everyone made money. And now it feels like it's just a rotators market, right? Don't you think so?
For sure, it's evident. I mean, even Solana, and also we're having these different stages of the market. For example, in the earlier stages, and to be fair, I'm not even sure if this is a bull market, honestly, because like if I look at 350 charts on Binance, this is not a fucking bull market, bro. Like it's far from it. Everything is just we're having these mini pumps, and then they're just going down to all-time lows again, and everything is there. I mean, look at Binance new listings. Out of 25 new listings, like
Everything's down to
yeah,
80%.
yeah, 80%. Like this is not a bull market. We're just thinking about that this might be the bull market, but it might just be around the corner. But I mean, I can't believe that this is not gonna be a bull market. We don't have a bull market now. I mean, I really do hope that we will have, at least, because like statistically, if I see all these data, I mean, probabilistically, statistics, we should have one. And I mean, I repeat, this has not even started yet, in my opinion, at least right now. Yeah.
You're saying that like we're not in a bull market, or that we are just beginning the bull market, but you forget that Bitcoin, the biggest, like the biggest cryptocurrency out there, ran from 16,000 to $110,000 in 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Almost a year and a half, 2 years, right? So the bull market has already been started, and people that tell you retail aren't here yet, retail has been here for a year, in my opinion. Retail has been here for quite a while.
Yeah.
And this is again why I think like we are still overvaluing the bull run to bear bull market to bear market thesis, because we have been in a bull market for the past 2 years, and usually bull markets last for 2 years. So that's why I'm very skeptical right now. I don't know how far we can go. I don't think, like you said, statistically, like altcoin cycle starts in February.
Yeah.
Till around April.
Yeah.
So we have to have this chat again in April and see, okay, were we right that, okay, altcoins started to pump again, we're actually in a bull market, or are we wrong and the cycle's completely different to how it used to be back in the day? And that's why, to be honest, I'm fucking like, it's scary to be in the market right now. You don't know what's gonna do well, and if you look back, like Solana dumped all the way to $8, and ran to $300, right? So that's like 20x almost of its value, right?
Yeah.
And that's a bull market right there. So I think a lot of people are being tricked, and I think we are also included in this, that the bull market has been happening for the past 2 years. But you'd think that because we associate timeline with bull market, and timeline wise now should be starting the bull market, but like it's already started a long time ago. That's how I feel. And if you miss the chance, if you missed that ride, you have very little time to actually stay into the market, because the bear market could be right around the corner. So it's I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be definitely interesting to see what happens next. I mean, yeah, if you outlined all these points, then yes, we are in a bull market. But the key differentiator here is that everyone expected and wanted it to have the similar characteristics as it always had. Okay, well, we're gonna have this massive altcoin market, like it's gonna do so well. It's gonna pump like from this down, but it didn't happen. And everyone's expectations are now basically broken. And I mean, currently even the key question is because majority of the retail, yes, they are here, yes, there are volumes and stuff, but they faded, but majority of the retail, they didn't make any money and they are all underwater. So now what we need to do to have this actual real bull market, we need to actually have more inflows from the retail. Even though like I'm constantly watching the institutional inflows, and there are institutional inflows, not too much, but there are. But retail is clearly under the water. All the cabals, all the guys with inside information, they made money. Trump made money. I mean, they literally just stole like how many billions of dollars from casual retail users. They're all now underwater. They don't have this money to inject into the market because they're in drawdowns. They probably are not cutting the losses and just thinking like, what the heck is going on? My president just rugged me in my face. Like, okay, well, and there's no bull market. I mean, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see from where this liquidity could potentially be coming, and I have no clue about it. I also checked just recently what's the so there's the Google search analysis, so where you see how many people are searching for crypto, and it's actually not doing too well.
No, it's not like
Yeah. So it's not that we're having this insane massive retail inflow. So that's definitely not the case. But yeah, I think we're still in the game, and potentially we can turn this around if stars align. But again, we need a lot of luck and a lot of coincidences to align with this. Yeah. So what do you think when so we all know this guy Murat, who is the meme coin Jesus or King or God or whatnot. So he says that this bull run will last until he would be taking profits at maybe November, December this year, and this whole bull run should continue throughout the whole year. So I'm curious about what's your timeline, and honestly, he has been wrong. He has been wrong on so many things, and at this point, I'm already seeing that he's like basically shit posting. But yeah, there's no like no one like, and ultimately, again, this is very important to understand that no one, absolutely no one, can predict the market. But what's your at least expectation of when we could see some next wave or the end of the current bull?
So, uh, like a few things I wanted to highlight about like the Trump coin, right? So retail found out Trump at like what, $50-$60. So they only had like 10% up and then forever down, right?
Nice.
Whereas like crypto and the people that are in the trenches, let's say, they found it at what, like $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, right? And so they made a good amount of money. But this is the difference. If you're not locked in 24/7,
Yeah.
it's very hard to make money this bull run.
Yeah.
Whereas comparing to last bull run, you could just buy something, it's gonna go up 10x, and then you sell it off, right? Like,
Yeah.
you didn't have to stick to the screen 24/7, which is different than comparing to this one.
Yeah.
And people like Murad, for example, his all-time high on his portfolio was like 40-50 million or something like that, and now he's down to like 25 million, right? So but the difference is people like Murad had got into these coins very, very early at very, very low prices.
Yeah.
So even if it goes down now another 50%, he's still up like 10x on his portfolio. So this is these are the key differences between people like Murad and people like that are retail traders that are just coming into the market. Where I think it's going to last, I mean, I've always been an advocate of sell in May and go away. So if we do have a continuous, like if we do expect an altcoin season, it should be starting now and it should be ending around May. Should, right? Because we're basing this again on previous cycles, but this cycle is completely different than previous cycles because you have many more institutional players, much more liquidity, not just flowing in but flowing out, and you have like the Ethereum Foundation starting to sell off. They have to change everything. Like Vitalik doesn't really know what's going on, what he wants to do with his own blockchain, because now we have now we can dictate how hyped or how underhyped or how overhyped something is. Whereas Ethereum that ran to 4.5k last bull run it was like because there was nothing else, right? There was nothing else. Like you had Ethereum and Solana last bull run, but then because a lot of people made so much money on those, we had an altcoin season, and altcoin season usually happens after Ethereum really fucking pumps, but you're seeing Ethereum not perform, right? So there's no money starting to get allocated into crypto anymore because retail's underwater. They don't have any more money. Crypto traders, they make their money and they get out because they know how to make the money, right? So they don't put the money back into the market. They just take it out and then they live their life. Whereas like a very high amount of people, they make their money and they give it back to the market. Professional traders, they make the money, they take it out of the market. So there's no more money in the market, right? This is like the psychology.
Yeah.
And so how long this bull run will last, I mean, hopefully till the end of 2025, maybe beginning of 2026. What I think, I want to lean to it's over, but I have like a very high hopes, and obviously I'm still in the market. I'm gonna continue being in the market, but I'm very wary comparing to previous cycles where I was just putting in and I would like I could sleep on the bag. Now you can never sleep on the bag. This is my opinion, at least. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, current state of the market is that if you hold anything above 5 hours, then there is a high risk of ruin because all the charts are basically going up and down and just forever down. So there is only one initial pump, and you need to get out of it very very quickly. So being liquid is the key for sure. Yeah, cash is king for sure. So yeah, awesome. But I know that back to your own story, because it's really fascinating how you prayed to God, and with $2,000 you started making a lot of money in a very short period of time. Became an influencer, had its own group, became the cabal. Could be. And you made over 1 million. This how you told me, but and you lost it all. So tell us a little bit about this as well. And the key thing is like how could you not have lost it, so that if people are watching this, then and they're in this cycle, how they can avoid losing all that they made? Because in bull market it's easy to make money, but majority of the stories that I've heard personally, and my own personal as well, like is that I made a lot of money but I lost it all. So how to avoid this, or tell about a bit about this.
Sure. So usually everyone's first cycle, they make a lot of money and then they lose it in the bear market. And it's essentially what happened to me, because of the NFT bubble, and I was in NFTs very early. I was able to make a shitload of money, like over $1 million in like 7 months, and then you lose it over like 2 years, right? For me, it was like so it took a while, obviously, but because when you come from a place that you like, for me, for example, I was working in web 2, I was working in 9 to 5, so I never had this experience to this much kind of money, right? And so it becomes very, you start to get into your gambling mode. And when you make a lot of money very fast, you lose sight of what money really is. And especially in the markets that we're in, or in the sectors that we're in, crypto, like you said, a lot of people make a lot of money in bull markets, but it's the people who actually get to keep who keep the money in bear markets are the ones that win, because then they can like recycle it from the bear market to the bull market again.
Yeah.
Whereas me, it being my first cycle, I got so greedy. I was like, yeah, I'm the king, I'm the best. I ended up losing all, like, 90% of the money that I made. Now, as like a tip for people, is like, when you make your money, you get out. This would be like my number one tip, is that never, like, let's say you make $1,000 in profit, you take out 700, you play with 300, don't put that 700 back in.
Yeah.
This would be my tip. If you lose the 300, you can take out another 100 and try again. But if you're on a losing streak, you get out and you stop. This was my issue, that I kept in the bear market. I kept thinking it's going to go up, it's going to go up. I kept going down and down and down until I was like fully liquidated, right? And this is something that the first cycle taught me, is that like, nothing ever goes up forever and nothing ever comes down forever. But if I had the liquidity that I had, basically, um for this current bull market, and I ended up buying a shitload of Bitcoin, or Solana at like 17, $20,000, I would have, made all that back and had a lot more because I had so much more liquidity at the time. But because I had lost a lot of money, I didn't. Now I re-got into like meme coins, and I made a lot of money on meme coins back in like 2020, end of 2023, starting of 2024, which was, in my opinion, the meme coin cycle. I think 2025's, like, I mean, look for yourself. It's looking catastrophic for all kind of meme coins, right? And so it's a bit, so I got kind of lucky again, but I got lucky again because I was in the market, even though I lost my money and shit like that. So you have to, like I said, crypto is a very stress based and skill consuming game, right? And in order to really make it in crypto, you have to be stuck on your screen. You have to really know what kind of coins you're getting into. You have to know what kind of blockchains you're getting into. And maybe, this time it's about builders. I think this cycle is about builders and how you present your product, or if you do create your own product or meme coin, you should really know how, like, to have product fit, right? Like market product fit. And this is where I think a lot of people will keep their money, because they know how to get out of the gambling mode and then back into like the okay patient mode, which is what I didn't have for cycle. Now thankfully, we're back, we're good in the trenches, and it's a completely different dynamic. But I had like a shitload of stress for 2 years, man. I was losing my mind. I didn't know what to do. I occasionally went back into my narcotic lifestyle, which was so unhealthy, and I had to really wake up again and be like, okay, let me like hit the gym 24/7. Let me, create solid foundations for my trading. The bear market is what taught me how to become a better trader, to be honest, because it's not the wins that make you a better trader, it's the losses that you take. And, making it all and then losing it all, it's a very big strain on your mind. And so you have to really like become disciplined again once more. I got into meditating, I got into breathing, I got into the gym a lot, and that helped me ground myself in order to kind of make it back. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome story. Yeah, like every cycle teaches you something, and the more you have behind your back, the easier it is to navigate. And even though it is easier, it never gets easy. It just gets it's actually stable hard, but you just get so much better at it, so that this stable heart like feels becomes easier and feels easier. So this is something that I personally seen as well. But yeah, it's definitely, it can suck you in. There's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of stress involved in this, and even then, like putting all your heart and mind into it, it's still not guaranteed. But yeah, I guess that's it. It was amazing to have you here on podcast. Always keen to have a good chat with you. It's been amazing. And thanks for sharing your journey. And see you in the next time.
Sure, Max. Thank you so much as well. Thank you, all the listeners. Be careful when you trade. Don't go in too much with too much capital. Understand how the markets work before you actually put your money in. But yeah, thanks, Max. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully till next time. Let's see what happens in May, right? Since we're expecting.
We'll do another one in May. Let's see if the thesis is right. Right. Okay. Thanks, guys. See you.